Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today we will only deal with the theory of templating so that we can quickly go through the application in WordPress, ACF and Cwicly in the next two videos. And with that, let's dive right in. Let's start by looking at the last example. Here we created a header, body and footer section. When we now add some fake content to our body section, like an additional div, a header, a paragraph, and an image, we already have a really nice page. And for easier understanding, we will look at this in a simplified manner. Over here, I created a layout that resembles our current page. But what if we want a second page with the same layout? Well, we would have to create a completely new page and have to add all these blocks into it manually. Of course, there's also the option to copy the whole page and only change the necessary parts. And that's all fine on its own, but what if we want to have 10 pages or more and want to make changes to the layout of one of these green or yellow areas? We would have to go through all pages, and in each one we would have to change that one thing. This would create a lot of work and make our website less manageable. And if you have visited a few websites, you probably have seen some headers and footers and may notice that they look mostly the same on all pages. That is what templates are used for. Like here in this example, the header content is moved to our header template and will now display the same thing on all pages which include the header template. Like here, where we have the header template, it will be shown. And in this page here, there will be no header since we have no template. And the same goes for the other areas of the body and footer. They have templates where we can edit the layout and content in one spot like the header. And that is what templates are. They give us consistency and allow us to make adjustments efficiently. On a side note, just keep in mind that templates can have parts in themselves, like displayed here, but we might see more of this when we create templates in one of the upcoming tutorials. Now that we know that templates make our lives easier, we need to think about what kind of website we want to create so that we can build the appropriate templates. Since there are infinite possibilities to set up our website content, we want to limit these by using presets. For that, we are going to create a healthcare website that contains information about doctors and locations. Since this configuration will serve as an example for most of my tutorials, and to add a little uniqueness, I have added example to the end. This allows us to simply refer to this configuration as Dale. The Dale setup serves as a guidance for structuring the content on our website. This means that this is just a simple sitemap that we will use as a reference for our content. You can also access this page in my GitHub repository. Now let's look at this example, where we would like to create a template for our doctors. Our doctors should contain different sections, like an area to display something about them, an area for which location this doctor is present, and one for the procedures that one can expect from this doctor. And as mentioned before, we can simply make changes to this template that then will be applied to each post of the doctor type. But how do we achieve this? Before we take a closer look, we need to understand what static and dynamic data is. This example should clear up the difference between static and dynamic data. We have again our template for the doctor's body area and two doctor pages next to it. What changed is that the template now has three doctor name examples. The first example is for static data. And here we would just add some text to our template like the header or a paragraph. In this case, it is the doctor name and the actual name. As we can see with our sample page, this would get taken over without any changes, even though this doctor's name is Daisy and this one's is John. So static data is content that remains unchanged and is hard-coded into the template files. For templates, we don't want that. And this is where the dynamic data comes in. Dynamic data gives us a more flexible approach to input data. In this example, we have a mixed content with a static paragraph for the words doctor name and dynamic data that takes in the name of the current doctor. As we can see here, the name would automatically be inserted from the data that is contained in the current post. Here with Daisy and over here with John. So dynamic data is content that is generated dynamically from the WordPress database, such as post titles, categories, and so on. And we can even go further. For example, if the templates are not accessible for our clients, and we are using static data like here, they would have to contact us so we can make the changes. This comes with pros and cons. For example, if we are requested to make changes, we can bill our clients additionally, and the static data is a smidge faster than the dynamic one. On the contrary, the client might dislike the need to contact us each time and pay additionally, plus the needed work on our side for a simple change that may not even bring in that much money. So we will use a pure dynamic approach for the content of our templates, so that our clients are happy and we don't need to do additional work. And this would look like the third example here, where in the central place the client can change the field information for all doctors if ever needed. So how do we implement this? For that, we will separate the data from our design. Let's look at this example. First, we have an area for our clients to edit the information of the doctors. In this case, it is for Daisy. There, the client can fill out the necessary data really easily without the possibility to edit the template. So when visiting the post of the doctor named Daisy, the needed template will get requested and the data will get loaded into them to display on the front end. As the previous example, the name comes into the template, which is then displayed. Now to note, the data does not have to come from one place, like here with the naming field, which comes from somewhere else. This is because we want consistency on our website, so visitors don't get confused when each doctor has something different written here. Like mentioned before, we could have used static data, but we will use dynamic data everywhere, so the site can be modified without additional work from us. Also, the use of separating the data from our design gives us more flexibility and makes our content easier scalable and maintainable. And here is the last example, also for the doctor example, but in a more general way. The post type area is where our clients have access to and can input their data. And like mentioned before, this data can come from different places to our templates and then create our full design. Important to note is that templates can have templates of their own and that our areas do not have to have a single template in them, but can also have multiple. Why do we want to do that? Well, in this case here, we could reuse different templates like, for example, a CTA area. But this would probably be another topic. Let's first focus on creating the post types with ACF, and after that we will look at creating the templates in the next two videos. And that's it for today. We covered quite a lot by going over the general concept of templates, the Dale setup, looking at static and dynamic data, and the separation of our data and design. If you spot any errors, have suggestions for improvement, or ideas for future topics, please let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful in any way, consider showing your support with a like and a subscription. Your feedback helps me understand if I'm on the right track and motivates me to create even more content. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one.